Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Oakland Athletics. In the previous episode, we went through another offseason after a somewhat disappointing regular season in which we made the playoffs once again but didn't make any meaningful adjustments in we didn't really get that deep into it. It's actually one of our worst years of late. We won the division like several years in a row, and then we kind of went. But anyway, um, before I talk about OTP anything, I'm recording this video on Sunday, and last night is when Shohei Ohtani signed with the Dodgers for $700 million, $70 million a year for 10 years. I have to talk about it. What the fuck? I think that describes my attitude to that succinctly. If okay, let's think of it this way. Shohei Ohtani is going to be earning $70 million a year. If we go with the most generous version of how much money is he worth, he'd have to have gotten at least 7 wins in order to be worth that amount. In order to be, he'd have to get 7 wins or more in order to earn that much money. So I'm popping on the Baseball Reference right now to see how many times he actually exceeded 7 WAR. So we're going to look at player value. Offensively, last season he's worth 6 wins. Offensively, that is. If we look at his pitching, 2022, he was worth basically 10 WAR between hitting and pitching. And so arguably he was better last year when he didn't win the MVP because of Aaron Judge. From a purely player value standpoint, he was worth more money last year. That being said, he got 6-4 with his bat this year, and he got 4 with his pitching, so also about 10 wins. So it is conceivable that even at $70 million a year, he could be worth the $70 million in the short term. However, keep in mind this is a man who's not going to pitch next year. Is not going to throw a single baseball in anger next year. That means we only have to look at his offensive contributions. Second, he's a DH. Because he's going to be a DH, there is a natural reduction to your WAR scores. Meaning, if all we have is his offense as a DH, he might not hit that 6-win plateau again. Then again, he might. He's only 20 years old. He could be even better next year. Dodger Stadium has always been known as a pitcher's park, but I don't know much about the Angels' park factors. I don't know whether that's going to change the story for him at all. All this is to say that Shohei Ohtani might be worth it, especially if we can come back and pitch season after next. Or if he continues or exceeds his offensive abilities with the Angels. However, $30 million is a lot of money. $70 million is a lot of money. It's an extremely lot of money. And if it were any team but, say, the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Padres, maybe not the Padres, but any of those really high rolling clubs, I wouldn't do it. Even as the Dodgers, $70 million is a great big number. And I wouldn't be shocked if they're mostly bidding against themselves. Because while I know there is all these rumors about Toronto putting in a big offer, I don't think Toronto's offer is anywhere near $70 million. I have no special intel on that. I read the sports pages just like you do. I don't think they were even in. They might have offered like 45 or 50. I don't think they offered him 70. It's also worth noting, of course, the amount of money, the stupid amount of money that Otani will bring in from Japanese baseball fans who want to see one of their countrymen perform well. It had a noticeable impact on the Mariners when Ichiro signed with them. And all respect to Ichiro, Ichiro ain't a wet fucking dog fart compared to Shohei Otani. He just isn't. He isn't. A primarily singles hitter who's also really good defensively and steals a lot of bases is objectively not as good as somebody who destroys baseballs and also happens to be, at worst, a number 2 starter. At worst. So calling it wild is I think an understatement. I still don't think I would have done it. I think $70 million is just way too much money, even if you don't have a salary cap in the sport, because it's guaranteed. Remember, all baseball contracts are guaranteed. This is going to be a second probable Tommy John surgery. I think teams had to have expected him to never pitch again. I think that is a fair thing to prepare for, and while I know that he's an elite athlete, will do everything he possibly can to get back to the mound, he's repeatedly said he enjoys doing both. I wouldn't put too much stock in him pitching, say, more than 2 years. Feel free to come back to this video in a couple of years and tell me how stupid I am when he wins, like, the Cy Young and the MVP in the same year. Which he could. He absolutely could. One thing I do want to push back on that I've seen a lot of commentary saying, oh, it's $70 million for a DH, her. I think Shohei Otani could easily play in the outfield. Or first base. I think those are both well within his skill set, and I think he'd be fairly good at it too. He just doesn't play the outfield because that's another way to get injured, and he's a pitcher. So I don't want people to think that, oh, he's just going to stand around, hit baseballs, and if he doesn't hit enough baseballs, he's going to be garbage. $70 million is a lot of money, though. It's a lot of money. But anyways, I want to talk about that before we talked about the actual game. I just thought it was interesting, and yeah. Let's talk about our current team, though. That does not have Shohei Otani on it. Sorry if you didn't see that video and you're worried about spoilers. This is largely last year's team. I've been saying this a lot with these A's, but the thing is it's been working. Well, relatively speaking. Our biggest change in the lineup is Jesus Barrera taking over from Chris Hughes. Barrera does offer a nice combination of defense and offensive abilities, although the leash on him is going to be quite short, because he isn't elite at either one of those things. Ideally, he is a super sub. But for right now, we're going to see what he can handle if we let him play at second base. That's the only change in the lineup. There have been other players added, like Medardo Barca, our Rule 5 pick. We have Jonathan Dunlap finally making the team and potentially staying here. And Danny Bowman and Ronnie Small are old friends, and we're used to having them. Let's talk pitching. The biggest change, I don't think it's really a change, in the rotation is Chris Allen starting. Chris Allen hasn't started more than 10 games in a season the last couple of years. He has to figure it out this year. We have to get, let's say 160 innings of 2 to 3 WAR pitching, or he's not worth keeping. The walks, man, the fucking walks are just eating him alive. And he's not doing enough he's not striking people out enough to justify his comically high walk rate. There are some signs he is getting a little bit better, but the home runs are also a problem too, so Allen's got to have a big year. He'll likely find himself on the way out. Mr. Pamphile is going to be our closer all season, and I do think he is an incredible talent. Riggins is back, one of our notable free agents from last year. Bork is back. Brexton May. I still think May's future is in the rotation. But the AI apparently disagrees with me. So for right now, he will be in the bullpen. Juan Bardales was also a Rule 5 pick. I love me some Rule 5 picks. He offers a lot of upside as a reliever. And I was more than happy to give him a roster spot and see if he can do it. Big man Georg Hunt is going to get a second consecutive season, which is going to be able to pitch. And then Andy Daly is going to get some more pitching experience as well. So pretty similar to last year's team. Again, with the exception of Barrera, Allen in the rotation, and Bardales. Also Sean Mintz is going to get his second year as our full-time catcher. I gotta be real with you, his first year wasn't that impressive. I want to see more from him, too. Who's coming up? Yep, it's time again. It's absolutely freaking time. I like my Rule 5 stuff here. AAA, Double A, High A, Low A, Rookie, and injuries. Okay. Wilfredo Rivera is probably next man up in the rotation, or at least up on the roster. Dan Espinosa, I don't know what to do with him. I truly don't. He was really good his rookie year and not so good the previous year. And he's not replacing Alfredo Mesa. Like, if Mesa gets hurt, which at some point is probably inevitable, then Espinosa's got a decent chance to get his job back. But then there's also Josh Lynch. And Josh Lynch is actually a pretty good candidate to be a worthwhile first baseman. What did I do? Oh, I hit Double A twice. Triple A twice. There we go. Vince Callison. Really, fuckhead. I need Callison to be good. I need him to be good. And maybe he still will be. I don't want to get too upset about a 1-year drop. He is a bit more error prone than I'd like, but I still think he's good enough to handle the infield positions. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is our last year of Santiago Luna. It just is. His arbitration amount has dropped slightly. If his arbitration amount stays at that 30 million range, I would actually strongly consider bringing him back, especially if we lose DeWitt. Who can opt out after this season, or if we decide to opt out of McDevitt's contract. Because now we've got, most of our payroll is 3 guys. It's McDevitt, DeWitt, and Luna. Bobby Stoll is probably going to fetch a reasonably high price. Like, if we just kick the tires on him right now, he wants to be paid about $20 million a year. And that is presently just too much money for us to handle. That being said, if he does perform well again, there's a reasonable chance that we could perhaps re-sign him. Gallego is going to be an interesting test this season. What kind of is going to help him out is particularly if we do lose Luna, he's the best choice to fill in the shortstop. His ability to play all three field positions at a very high level makes him attractive if we decide to play somebody else at third. However, he's going to be a volatile offensive player. He just will. He's got reasonable power, average plate discipline, so his skill comes from his ability to hit for contact, hit doubles, and run the bases. So, some interesting decisions definitely coming this upcoming offseason. If we have McDevitt, DeWitt, and Luna on the team next year, I've done something horribly wrong. Or something insane has happened, like John Fisher slipping on a banana peel, and we actually get a genuine payroll for once. Where I'm allowed to have a payroll that's, I don't know, top half. Anyway. Friends, let us advance time. Let us go forwards in this amazing thing we call Major League Baseball. Somebody is DFA'd. Yes, it's Josh Price. Goodbye, Pricey. We're struggling to score runs a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll have to see. We'll check things out. Barrera, you dumb fucker. And you took out a terrible starting pitcher. That was, like, not worth it, my guy. Not worth it. Day-to-day injury for Alfredo Mesa. One of the things I did commit to in the KBO series is trying to be a little bit more aggressive about making moves. I still don't see the need to do that in this league. But I might. Mike Muncy. Okay. Julio Lerma adds velocity but drops as a prospect. Yeah, Vince Callson's going to need a little bit longer to rebound. Sam Feeney has 5 wins in the month of April. He's pitched exceptionally well. Well done, you. We're struggling to score runs. Part of that is I see 2 players that are completely shitting the bed, in Escobedo and Giuliano. Escobedo is on the thinnest of ice this year. This isn't enough to bench him yet, but he better have a fantastic May if he wants to keep his job. The Escobedo in 2040, who won a Gold Glove and was an exceptionally talented hitter, he just has vanished. I don't know what's happened to him, but he's better figure out his shit real soon. Giuliano is a bit different, and that so much of value comes from his ability to play defense. But he also has a ready-made replacement on the roster in Jonathan Dunlap. I'm not going to tolerate truly abysmal offense if that's what he's going to provide us. Let's go ahead and just continue for now, though, because we really don't know. We don't know nothing about nothing yet, and we'll see what things look like in June. But that's 2 areas we could easily make a move based on internal candidates, or maybe even a trade, and maybe see some solid gains in our offense and our ability to win baseball games. Is what we're here for. We're here to win baseball games. That's what I believe. Should try doing more of that. Alright. Player development. Pinto, May, Hunt. Well, Hunt got better. Davini got worse. Allen got better. But it looks like you put him back in the bullpen, which is fine. Escobedo is slipping. I'm not really seeing a ton of upward movement. I'm actually seeing more people drop than I'm seeing people get better, so that's disappointing. Hey, look, another highly drafted prospect disintegrates when he hits the professional baseball league. I don't know, guys. I don't know what we're doing wrong. I'm not gonna I cannot, for the sake of my sanity, go into the level of meticulously managing people's at bats and so forth, or the coaching staff or things like that. I can't do it. Yeah. OOTP, I'll say this again. It'll be the last time I mention it for now. You have to fix this. This is not normal for every single player on the team to be terrible, which hurts their development. Like, managers matter, but good players typically perform well. So you have massively overbalanced how soft skills work, and you need to tone that down for 25, if not for 24. Anyway. Davini, you're getting shut down. I am not taking any kind of risk with you. Of course, Alfredo Rivera is going to miss 2 to 3 months, which is not great. Wow, really? Really? Huh. Like, Brexton May can obviously slide into the rotation. That's fine, but I don't see an obvious... I mean, I guess Mike Muncy can be a fine reliever. Go ahead and update. And really, Andy Daly goes into the rotation. What is your fucking obsession with not starting Brexton May? What the fuck does Brexton May have to do to get a shot in the rotation? Apparently needs to kneecap more guys. But I trust you, so let's make sure that this is a good thing. But yeah, I have a lot invested into Vinny, and I don't want him to, have, his career end. I don't have a lot invested in him. I'd still be happy if he turns out to be a plus reliever, but... Alright. How is it going? Escobedo and Giuliano are not any better. Yeah, they're both getting benched. They're both getting demoted, actually. I'm going to trade Escobedo. I don't know if I'm going to get very much for him. Probably not, but I'm going to trade him. So I can get a nice prospect. That's my goal. I did not get a nice prospect. Meh. I mean, his name is Mike Schmidt. He'd be a useful 4th or 5th outfielder with his defensive abilities, but I don't think he'll ever hit. If I could get Schmidt and Acevedo, I'd call it a win. Not really a win. Like, the win scenario is actually where he's fucking competent at his damn job. But apparently I can't have that. Apparently that is illegal. So, let's get us Mike Schmidt. Where'd he go? Where'd you go, Mike Schmidt? What level are you at? Oh, you're in Double A. Okay. You're in Double A. Where are you? There you are. And we made the deal. Giuliano will just go to the minors. Wait, what the fuck did I do? Oh, I just tapped to complete trade. Okay, done. There you go. I'm sorry the fans are sad about losing Escobedo. Maybe he should try to be more competent with his offense. I'm just saying. Okay. So the first person to get called up is Marulanda. Definitely has some real attraction to me. Um, and I think he'd fill in nicely, at least as a reserve outfielder. That seems good. And I think Josh Davis also gets an opportunity. So we're going to do Davis, and we're going to do Marulanda, who will be our new outfielders. And then let's see how we rebuild the lineup in light of this. So it's going to be Bowman and Dunlap. I'm perfectly content with that. I think Bowman's skill set is incredibly valuable, and I've been looking for a way to give him more opportunities, so hopefully he makes the most of them. So that's different now. I think Dunlap's defense is perfectly sufficient, and as long as he can hit, I think we'll have an upgraded defense. We'll have an upgrade at center field as well. Santiago Luna is struggling quite badly. Relatively speaking, he's still hitting for a lot of power though. I'm not gonna be able to trade him though. Like nobody is gonna give me very much for him because of his gigantic salary. Pitching looks really good. No issues there. Defense isn't amazing. That may be something else you have to consider. Barrera's played well enough to keep his job. He's not brilliant by any stretch of the imagination, but he is competent. Sean Mintz must be a hell of a defensive catcher because his offense is not terribly thrilling. But nonetheless, I think it's enough changes for right now. I do think starting catcher might be somewhere else we can upgrade potentially. How's Gallego this year? He is performing adequately. Wouldn't it be adequate? Okay. Let's jump ahead another month. We've got to find some on-base machines. I think that is something we could deal with and be happy about. We need some real good on-base people to help kickstart this offense, which we don't have right now. And I think Santiago Luna leading off is fucking stupid. I don't know why we're leading him off. But I'm not going to interfere as far as that's concerned. I think I'll just let that be, and we'll see what happens. I'm seeing a lot of crooked numbers coming up on the scoreboards, so that's good news. Pinto. What is with you shitheads? Like, seriously. Can you stop, please? Okay, we can have Davini back. And Andy Daly has been sucking it up in the rotation, so Mike Muncy to the minors. Davini back. That's one change. And then let's continue. Alright, player development. Herbertson dips. That's not good. Bardalis should not be starting. Please, stop this bullshit. Mike Ellie is getting better. Cool. If we check out our player development report, we should have a chance to see who our best prospects are. We don't really have anybody in the high minors that's ready for an opportunity. Mike Ellie is perhaps one of the rare exceptions. Yeah, we are a ways away from getting help at the major league level, which is kind of yikes. Like, Luis. I think I'm going to trade Luis Ramos. Hear me out. Hear me out. I don't think he's going to be successful. I truly don't. He isn't hitting for contact in the least. This is a guy who hasn't even hit 200 in the minor leagues. I think we have to trade him now while he still looks like a great prospect, rather than hang on to him and risk him collapsing. He just isn't worth it. His prodigious tools don't make up for the fact that he isn't going to hit enough to justify it. So we're going to trade him now. And I'm going to see if we can't get ourselves an elite prospect of some nature. I'm seeing a lot of 60s. I don't see any blues, though. Oh, there's a blue. Nelson Becerra. Nelson Becerra is not a center fielder, but other than that, I like that quite a lot. He could be a really good player someday. Like, Becerra has the most cachet, because he's got this really, really high upside. But he's not a center fielder. And I'd like to try to get one or two prospects, even if it means that they're not quite as good. What if I do a multi-prospect package? Will anybody give me 2 greens for him? Yeah, the problem is you're not offering 2 greens. And I think I'm getting offered 2 greens here. Interesting. All right. Greg Bolton is an average outfielder. He doesn't do anything well, but isn't doing anything poorly either. Jimmy Bissell is not a second baseman, but he is a good hitter. Andres Ochoa is a really good defensive first baseman. These are all badly flawed prospects. I don't think that does it for me. Jamie Butera is a really good player. He's a really good all-around hitter with high skill defensively and pretty good speed. Botol Luz is also very similar. Juan Vega's not terribly interesting, but I am getting my 2 greens. This is a definite possibility. We'll come back to St. Louis's package in a second here. John Descant could be a decent third baseman for us for a short time. Steve Corley is an awfully good pitcher. And Randy Cook isn't that thrilling to me. He's not terrible, but... Something you're on the fence about. Okay, let's talk. Tim Onyanwu is a legitimately good starting pitcher. Like, he's legitimately good. Lots of speed, good mix of pitches. I could get behind this. And Jeff Cleveland is legitimately would fill a leadership hole. He's a captain. And he actually has enough offensive talent to carry a pretty talented glove. His arm is terrible, but... Okay, the Toronto package is now in the driver's seat. Could I get another prospect out of you? That's my only question. If I could get one more prospect, I'd feel really good about our chances here. No, I don't think so. Mike Adolf doesn't do me any good. Chris Karen isn't that good. He's a first baseman, realistically speaking. I could go for some Joel Adcock. No, that doesn't do it for you. Okay. What about Mike Cephas? Could I get Mr. Cephas? I cannot be serious. Yeah, you're wanting one of my very best prospects to get Mike Cephas. That's fair. How about Brad Fogarty? I could give you Brendan Claiborne, but I'm not willing to give up on him. No, thank you. Let's keep checking. Jorge Castillo, maybe? How does that grab you? That's not enough, and you're still wanting the same caliber of prospect, so... You have a lot of third basemen. Lerma's an interesting guy. I think he is somewhat flawed, but... Let me see what that does for you. Okay, I can make this deal happen if I offer a middling prospect. I'm more than happy to give you that. Here, have Salazar. Complete trade. I feel really good about that trade. I got two legitimate major league players in Cleveland and Onyanwu. And even Lerma is interesting. And I genuinely don't think Ramos is ever going to reach his full potential. Even OSA doesn't think he's going to hit for contact. And I just question his ability to be valuable at the major league level. We'll see, though. Cleveland would be a nice shot in the arm. If he can improve rapidly in AAA, I think he could be a really good pick. I feel pretty happy and pleased with that deal. Oh, Juan Demoy is on the move. Okay. Dunlap is not working out, but I don't want to get too jumpy with him. Let's give him a little bit more time. Do I have a reasonably good center fielder? I have Luis Navarro, who is basically the same guy. Or I have Ian Giuliano. I could bring him back. He is crushing it in the minors. Ken Armstrong could be a good catcher at some point. Oh, really? How long are you out? Oh, okay. Can Dan Espinosa play the outfield at all? Is that a thing he's capable of doing? He is not. Mintz is hitting better. I think we can keep Mintz around for a while longer. Alright. Let us advance time. Or do we want to make any more trades? Are there any other players, like Rule 5 players, that I'm not going to keep? Because this would be a good time to move them, potentially. I've got to create some room on the 40-man because I really want to keep Anyanwu. I really want to keep Armstrong and Tassie. Alright, CJ Kingsley, you're getting waived. Irvin Arias, you're getting non-tendered. There you go. So you're both non-tendered. Not non-tendered, you're both being DFA'd. You get added. You get added. Sergio Carrillo is a really useful player. I don't want to lose him for nothing. So I think I'll add him too. And then Harjani Gillespie, you've already been lapped by Tommy Tassie. So Tommy Tassie is going to get your 38-man spot. There we go. Done. Let us now advance up to the draft. Are we really having cohesion issues? Still? Oh, we have a lot of people's contracts coming up. Okay. Yeah, people are unhappy. I think it's because literally every person has somebody they struggle with. This might be a good year to clean house and just rebuild the coaching staff from the ground up. David Carpenter has been such a tremendous coach. I think we keep Carpenter. I think he's the one coach here that I consider really critical. And I think Sean Harris gets to stay too. Those are the two that I'm willing to stretch the point for because they're just really, really competent. Yeah, let's keep this guy too. But then the rest of y'all, Garrett Gracchi is gonna walk. I don't want to lose. No, I think we keep Gracchi too. It sucks though. Wait, I've only got one guy that's controlling. Oh no, Gracchi is controlling, as is Rosales. We can let Rosales walk and keep Gracchi, and then try to work on the rest of it. The thing is, there's such good coaches that I'd rather try to find other ways to make this better. Levi Romero. I think we can keep you for a little bit longer because you are a fairly talented coach. Neil Friendling is amazing. And I think he does quite well there. Yeah, let's extend him. Let's give him a shiny new deal. Nick Tyson is a really good coach. Malcolm Owens is a really good coach with reasonably good relationships. Yeah. Like, it's going to take me a lot to get rid of some of these guys. Isaiah Yates is decent, but not exceptional. Yates might be somebody we let walk. Amancio, on the other hand, is quite good, and we can re-sign him. Same with Grolman Gonzalez. That sounds good. Ben Johnson. I'm going to try one thing here in just a second to see if it makes any appreciable effect on things. Drew Bennis is a really good young pitching coach. I want to keep him. I say young, he's 53. But for coaches, that is pretty young. And then Nyjer Morgan is really here to potentially be... No, we're going to let Nyjer Morgan walk, I think. Right. I'm going to slide on over to the league settings. And we're going to go to players. No. I think what's happening is they're playing players before they're ready. And that's why all of my people look awful. Yeah, do it based on current ratings, please. That might help a little bit. And we'll see if that makes any changes there. Okay. Let's see if that accomplishes anything meaningful. And let's sum up to the draft. Y'all can go back to the minors. And then first year player draft. Alexis Pinto would like to stay in Oakland. He's having a really bad year, though. And I am not paying you more money to pitch less well. So thank you, but no thank you. Picking 22nd. I mean, I would do a homicide for Dan Sturzer, but I know very, very well I A, can't afford him, and B, he won't be there by the time I draft. I could get RJ Edwards. I could get RJ Edwards. He's a very, very polished starting pitcher, and I could really use another starting pitcher. I'm not going to overthink this. Welcome to the Oakland A's, RJ. You're going to cost me a lot of money, but you'll be worth it. Oh, you'll be absolutely worth it. Okay. Now what's our next step? Sorry, that's a legitimate upgrade to the roster right now. I wasn't going to pass on that. Let's look at Daniel Espana. Mr. Espana is a very, very well-rounded hitter with no defensive capabilities whatsoever. I don't think that's for me. Chris Fisher is my trap player. I have to evolve past that. What about Dan Downing? Mr. Downing here is actually a very talented pitcher. He throws pretty hard, got a nice 2-pitch mix, some really good stuff, movement and control. I think he's a winner. We're going to take Dan Downing. Plus, he is under slot, which will save us more money to sign people later on, potentially. Darnell Myricks is fine. Mickey Walton-Berry is way outside my price range. It's Josh Allman. This is a really, really good player. Done. Get over here. Um, yeah, the only catcher is not that thrilling. I can't afford to pay your costs. Otherwise, I'd strongly consider it. AJ Bergdahl. He's a lefty that throws 90 miles an hour. Who's also big as shit. Which means he could potentially throw harder. I think that's worthwhile. I feel like I'm being really cheap in this draft. And you're not wrong that I am being very cheap. But I think it's because we have to. I think we have to be really judicious about who we acquire and who we don't, so that we'll be in good shape going forward. Jesus Borja seems like a really good fit. I like that a lot. He is a good egg. Welcome aboard, Jesus. Fuck you, dude. You said you wanted the slot, and now you're like, I want $4 million. Fifth round pick is not a $4 million pick, so yeah, no thank you. I'll take Amari Broaden instead. That's better. No, I don't want to do that. Mr. Marcone seems like a decent pick. We'll get him for free. I could see getting Juan Landa. Landa Calrissian. I like Nate Gerard. He's good enough. We'll grab him. Sure. And then I want to go ahead and auto-complete the rest of the draft. Alright. Offered. And then Pete Taylor is interesting enough that I do kind of want to keep him. There you go. Done. Chris McDevitt makes an all-star team, as does Chris Bork. It's all Chris here. Santiago Luna and Sean DeWitt both make it. So we had 4. Oh, and Alfredo Mesa. We had 5 all-stars this year. Nice. 6 all-stars. Sam Feeney also made it. Lovely. What about the prospects? Nelson Vigil made it. And Nelson Vigil made it. Okay. That's fair. Let's settle on down to the trading deadline. My first round pick might go right to the major leagues. I haven't decided yet, but especially if one or more of my starters is struggling, that might happen. No thank you, game. I want to keep Espinosa for now. A no-hitter is a dick move, okay? Don't get no-hitters against me. That's illegal. How's my pitching staff doing? They're all doing quite well, Davini being the worst of them. Pinto and Hunt and Daly are all really struggling. So what if I did this? What if I went totally crazy? Not yet, not yet. Let's let him pitch in the minors for a little bit and then see where we are. Let's not get ahead of ourselves yet. Okay. What is happening with my relievers? Why do Hunt and Pinto in particular suck so much? Hunt is giving up home runs, but honestly, he's actually not pitching that poorly in terms of his peripherals. His ERA is high because he's getting hit a lot, but Pinto has been actively terrible. And yet this motherfucker wants a new deal. No, you're getting traded, my guy. Somebody else can offer you a deal if they want. Really? Nobody? Okay. I will actually take a regular if I can get somebody who's actually his level or better. There we go. Let's get a Mari Zulu. Not just because the name is amazing, although it is an amazing name. There you go. And then Mr. Zulu is just going to take his roster spot. So it's a 1-to-1 swap. Hunt's peripherals are good enough that I want him to try to work through it. Who else is struggling badly? Davini is also struggling. Mr. Davini here actually looks better than he did last year. I don't know what his deal is, but other than his ERA being kind of high, it could be defense though. We might want to look at that here in a second. So that's that dealt with. Man, Dunlap, I needed you to be a good hitter, and you're not. You're even worse than other guy. You're even worse than the now injured Giuliano. Is there a center fielder on the market? A center fielder, if you please. Jim Paz is not a center fielder. Let's try that again. Yeah. Dunlap, you're going to the minor leagues. Figure out how to hit, fucker. And I'm going to call up Navarro. Navarro has a little bit more offensive upside. Let's see if Navarro can handle playing center field a bit. And then Dunlap, figure out your shit. I still think you're a talented player, but you completely and utterly shat the bed. So please don't do that again. Would be my advice. What are we doing with Dan Espinosa? Alfredo Mesa is one of our best hitters again. Robbie Herbertson is equally excellent. Robbie Herbertson is struggling. He is struggling. Do we give Espinosa another try? Is that a thing that we consider? Huh. Like, part of Herbertson's deal is that he's being punished because he happens to play DH. His isolated power still looks decent. Maybe we can get a little bit of a rebound from him if we just stick with him. Like, he's had 2 seasons of excellent performance and 1 of subpar performance. I'm willing to let him figure it out. I'm going to trade Espinosa for a prospect. But I don't have to. That's my thing, right? My thing is I don't have to trade him yet. But I kind of think I should. Why did you have to suck last year, Espinosa? You had the chance to carve yourself a permanent role with the Oakland A's, and you just have not managed it since. I gotta trade Espinoza. He's far too valuable to be sitting in the minors when I could get a good prospect for him, potentially. If we can get a quality prospect, I will happily trade Espinoza. Maybe not happily trade him, but I will trade him. Rogelio Morales is a really good pitcher. That's a possibility. Luis Castillo is unexciting. Yeah, let's grab Rogelio Morales and see if they'll throw in Joe Ivy. Would you give me both? Yeah, I can live with this. I can live with that. That's a good deal. I feel good about that one. Right. And then you're going to update. Navarro just goes ahead and plays center field. I'm cool with that. Okay. We've had an unexciting offensive performance this year. We've got some good stuff happening, but not enough. All right. I'm gonna bench Josh Davis. I think I'd. No, Davis is actually hitting very well. We're gonna keep Davis on the roster. Never mind. All right, team. Let us advance time up to the trading deadline. I am not giving up Robbie Herbertson for a mid-range. Yeah, that's comically stupid. Herbertson for right now is untouchable. Like, don't even ask about him. Astros and Rays made a trade. Oh, Chris Hughes. How has he been doing in his post-Oakland year? Reasonably well, but not excitingly well. Oh damn! I could have had Gene McAfee. Alas, I am undone. All right. Do we get stupid? Do we try to trade Santiago Luna? I think if we do that, we're fucking ourselves in the postseason. Like, I think we're doing the team. So I don't think we're going to do that. Marulondo's actually really useful. I'm going to trade CJ Kingsley because otherwise we're going to lose him. And I think somebody's going to want something for him. Somebody's going to make me an offer for Mr. Kingsley. Really? Not a single soul? Okay. That's a hard reject. No. That doesn't do it for me. Ernesto Gonzalez might. Yeah, he's a really good catcher. I already know I can't afford him, though. Chris Marker, meh. Uh, that's Juan Moya, not Juan D. Moya. Very different story. Very different. Nothing is anything that I need is my problem. Nobody here really fills a need, and what I really need is I just need better offense from somebody. I could use a new right fielder. Danny Bowman has now gotten plenty of opportunities and is not drawing walks. It's just supposed to be his job. Like, this motherfucker should be on base at a 350 clip, and he's not. Like, maybe he just needs more playing time. I don't know, but a really good outfielder would actually be pretty welcome right now. I can't afford that. Definitely can't afford that. Yeah, this is just a disappointing trading market. I'm not going to bother trading unless I could get... actually, if I do trade Fuckhead McGee, CJ Kingsley, and look for a regular, I might get something. But even take a veteran. If I can get an upgrade in the outfield and send Bowen back to the minors, I would do it. If I can get the right player. Zane Fitzpatrick isn't interesting. I don't really need even more relievers. I'm good for relievers right now, thank you. Thanks, game. What if I just looked at batters? That is all that I considered. Juan Flores isn't bad. We could get Kevin Rude. Yeah, let's get Kevin Rude. Done. And then I'm going to send Bowman back to the minors. Or do I trade Marulanda and give him Marulanda's spot? I'll just send Bowman to the minors. And then we're going to put Kevin Rude on the roster. What if I traded Chris Allen? Like, here's the thing. Chris Allen is dangerously close to fucking up. And I really want to give RJ Edwards a shot. Because that's a really cool story. I think I'm going to trade him. He will never have higher trade value than he does right now. If I can get even a decent prospect for Chris Allen, I think I take it. Sorry, I meant all players, not just hitters. If I can get a really good reliever for him, that would be good too. No? This is all I can get? Okay. Dave Ballard isn't terrible. You're not terrible. You're not terrible. What if I got Ballard and super long name? Can I have both those guys, please? Where'd he go? There he is. I'll throw in Bassett. I could get Luis Ramos. That would be funny as shit, actually, if I got Ramos back. Yeah. That would be legitimately funny, though. I'd be pretty, yeah. Oh, Wolfenbarger. No, I don't like it enough to trade Ellie. I already looked at Adolf. Yeah, we're gonna make this trade. You're gonna forget all about Chris Allen when I promote RJ Edwards. Um, Anybody else worth trading? Do we re-sign Bobby Stoll? Stoll's having an awesome year. I do think there's a lot of value in keeping him around. Plus, he's a fan favorite. This pretty much condemns us to lose one of our players. Either Luna or McDevitt. And I think I'm fine with that. I think I'm reasonably happy with letting Stoll be a focal point of our team. How does that work for you? What am I missing here? Oh, I've got to reduce his first year salary. What if I did that? No. My projected payroll exceeds my budget. Is that for next year? Or, like, what if I reduce this by $2 million? No, I basically have to pay him, like, $11 million in year one. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. We're going to make that offer. Done. Bobby Stoll is a really good pitcher and has pitched at a high enough level for long enough that I do think he deserves himself a nice little raise. I'm gonna go ahead and finish today. Like, worst case scenario tells me to get fucked and I just offer him a qualifying offer. Alright, RJ Edwards got better. We already knew that. Mike Elliott's getting better. McDevitt's getting better. Nate Selesky's getting better. We're getting some improvement now. That's good. Like, maybe we're putting the youngsters in a position where they're actually getting playing time at a more reasonable rate instead of forcing it. Maybe. Alright, Sergio Oviedo. Remember when I thought he was, like, the key to our success as the Oakland A's? I mean, he did have a really good year with Minnesota the year after we had him, but I think he was always a little bit overrated. That's just how I feel. Right. I'm just gonna go right into August, right into September. We are badly struggling this year. We do keep Bobby Stoll, though, which is very good. I do like Bobby Stoll a lot, and I think he might end up replacing McDevitt in terms of our rotation guy. We are not scoring, guys. We are not scoring consistently at all. Go ahead and go to the minors, Mr. Rivera. Does he really? Okay. And then you can go to AAA. Rivera's also got a really high probability of making the roster rotation quite soon. Yeah, we gotta start scoring some runs, my guys. See you later, Andy Daly. Do we call up Rivera? I see no reason why we shouldn't. Let's do it. And if it means that we also end up benching Davini in favor of him, that's fine too. Let's give the youngsters an opportunity. Chris Riggins, your role is doing what the fuck I tell you to do. That's your role. Like, let's be realistic. We're still in playoff position. Like, we're currently the number 3 wild card, and we have a pretty decent lead in that. And it's not going to take much for us to turn it on, but we just have to start scoring runs. It is mandatory that we start scoring runs. Because the offense has been real bad this year. And a lot of it is Luna. Santiago Luna should not be fucking leading off. You have to stop this. Get him out of the leadoff spot. He is hurting the rest of the team. But I can't. Like, my fucking dipshit manager is like, what if we just made him the leadoff guy? And it's like, no, that's stupid. You're stupid. Navarro and Rude are playing reasonably well. Yeah. Fucking make Sean DeWitt the damn leadoff guy, if that's what you gotta do. But somebody besides Luna should be hitting leadoff. Luna, I'm gonna set you to be hitting 5th. And we're gonna see what the game does, if I can specify that. Who leads off? Kevin Rude. You know what? That's fine. Plus, it puts Luna in a position where his power can actually be a little bit more worthwhile. Let's see if that minor change makes any significant inroads. It probably won't. We need a table setter. We need one badly. Whoever that is. Really, Luna? Really? Oh my god. Wait, where's that one guy? Where'd he go? Dan Bays is the guy thinking of making the new shortstop, but maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe we call up a third baseman instead. Or a second baseman. Julio Grajeda wouldn't be the worst choice. If Gordon Aishala could play any position other than second base, I'd be a lot more willing to call him up to the main roster. Jesus Rojas isn't terrible, I suppose. I really like them to move Gallego over to shortstop, though. That's kind of what I'd like to see happen. So I think I will call up Aishala for now. And see if we do the smart thing and put Gallego at shortstop. You don't. You move Barrera to shortstop. Which is reasonable. Like, it's not a terrible decision. And it's like Barca has been a bad player, but I don't think that's helpful. I don't think it's helpful, guys. We can try it. Let's go to roster expansion, please. The thing is, I need Luna back for the playoffs. That is the number one concern. If Luna's back in time for the playoffs, then I think we'll be fine. Because then I've got an awfully good defensive shortstop. I've got an awfully good defensive infield with very little offensive talent. And Danny Bowman is burning out with dizzying speed. We're actually seeing improvements now, so that's actually a good sign. Maybe that's what I should have been doing this entire time, and I've just been a stupid moron the whole time. Maybe. Hey, Danny Gross is pitching well. Good for him. I always liked you. I just wasn't willing to pay you what you thought you were worth with Oakland. I had to pick between you and Stoll, and I definitely think I made the right call. I definitely think keeping Stoll was the right decision. Let me do Muncy, Bowman, Dunlap, Bays, and Giuliano. Mike Ellie, not yet. But yes to Josh Lynch. That I will do. Let's get an extended look at some of these guys, see what they can accomplish. Sean Finney just threw a fucking no-hitter. Damn. I don't always know what I'm doing when I get pitchers, but sometimes I do know what I'm doing. And it really, really works out for us. He is having a phenomenal season. Truly incredible season. And what did I trade for him? That's right. These guys. Fontañez hasn't made the majors. Labrador hasn't made the majors. McGaffey has made the majors. Goth is a reliever. And Salgado is a reliever. So I basically built Houston's bullpen for them, but that's all I've really accomplished. So I am pretty chuffed about the talent level of Mr. Feeney. Good old Mike Swanson. There was a time when I really valued you. You were genuinely one of the better pitchers in baseball for a short time, and then you just weren't. Luna's going to take another week. That's fine. Sean DeWitt has started heating up. That's glorious. I love that. I love that. We've clinched a playoff spot, which is great news. We're very slightly in the running for a bye, but we'd have to get on a super mega hot streak in September and overtake the Yankees or the Tigers. Or both, I guess. Both would be great. Rivera's improved. Davini's improved. Bardalis has improved. Small has gotten worse. Herbertson's gotten worse. Tassie's gotten better. Ellie's gotten better. Anwanyu has gotten better. Anyanwu, sorry. Rogelio Morales has gotten better. Dusty Flanagan has gotten better. Cool. Verdugo pounds your mom. No. Nice. Let's go to the end of the regular season then. Okay, we get Luna back. That is amazing. Okay. I'm just going to slot him right onto the roster, but he will instantly take over where he belongs. No bye for us. That's a shame. We got a 30-30 player, though, for the first time ever. That's wild. I never realized that. Alright, playoff roster. Who are we leaving off is my most important question. We're leaving off RJ Edwards in replacement for Mike Muncy. Oh, no, we're not. We're keeping Edwards, too. Okay, good. Good. I kind of want to keep Wilfredo Rivera, but I don't want to rush him either. I'm only carrying 4 outfielders. That seems risky to me. Let us remove Josh Lynch from the roster. Remove from playoff roster. And let's add... Wow, Dunlap sucks now. He's just not remotely good. Let's add Bowman. No, let's add Navarro. And that we can push DeWitt to another position if we have to. Oh, this feels good. This feels real good, though. This feels like a very decent team. And yeah, it's going to be up to McDevitt and Stolen Feeney to make some noise. How is Bobby Stoll only 6-5? This guy, my guy, has not gotten any run support. Didn't there either. And Feeney got clobbered. McDevitt never even pitched, which I strongly question. I wasn't really ready to pitch, but still. That was disappointing. We're bounced out in record time. Damn. Lance Koenig is going to retire. That's good for him. I wish him many happy years of retirement. Please not the Yankees again, game. Please. Thank you. Thank you. You're very kind. Until playoffs under Reno. That's fine. Damn, Orioles had themselves a postseason. Good for them. Good for Baltimore. All right, let's look at the really important shit. Sean DeWitt did not leave. That's excellent. Alfredo Mesa. How am I not going to keep him? How? There's no planet on which I am not keeping Alfredo Mesa for that inexpensive sum. Alright. People are retiring. Good for them. We lost our manager, too. That's fine, though. That'll give us some chance to make some changes there. Okay. This is the most important decision of the offseason. McDevitt had his best year in the major leagues. He has consistently been an excellent pitcher every single year. But this decision is so critical. And here's the problem. If I non-tender Santiago Luna, I do not get a draft pick for him. So the ultimate question is this. Who is the better bet? The going to be 33-year-old shortstop or the 32-year-old starting pitcher? I like McDevitt a lot. But I also like Luna. And I'm not going to keep them both. Because DeWitt opted in, I have to get rid of one of them. I could trade Luna. You know what? I know this episode's already running a little long. Let's kick the tires on a Luna trade. And see what we might be able to get in return for him. The fans are going to hate my guts for doing this, but I think it has to happen. Can we even make a trade for him? I'm going to look at all possible options. Let's see what is being offered to me. This is what we call shit. That is being offered to me. Don't be fucking stupid. No. Luna wants to get paid a stupid amount of money. That's not going to happen either. Since it's only for 1 year, I think we're going to non-tender Luna. Done. Decision made. let him hit the free agent market, and we're going to keep McDevitt. I think that's the right decision. I feel reasonably good about that. Let's break down how the team did before we make any kind of wild decisions. Okay. I'm going to offer some minor league extensions while I'm thinking about it, though. Basically, anybody that performed at a high level is going to get a minor league extension offer, and if you don't like it, then tough titty. That seems good. Irvin Reyes, I think, has a little... No, he doesn't have any upside. I'm lying to you. He is useless. Like Chris Cunningham. Man, 30th overall draft pick, and he'll probably never make the major leagues. That's disappointing. Not disappointing as Santiago Luna being worth nothing, but it is what it is. I'm basically getting salary relief. That is my prize for sacrificing Santiago Luna. That is my prize, is that I get salary relief. Alright. I think that's it. I think that's what we're going to do this episode. I'm going to save coaching decisions for next episode, and I'm also going to save arbitration offers for next episode. Oh, right, the end of the year breakdown. Who played well, who didn't play well, and what can we hope for in the future? Sean DeWitt was amazing again. I am so happy. And I know. This gentleman is in his 30s. He's only going to get older. That's how time works. But he has just been that good. He's been that critical to our success as a franchise that I'm very, very happy he just decided to stay. Very happy. Especially when he's put up the second best year of his career. I hope at some point Sean DeWitt comes home with an MVP. It won't be this year, I don't think. Because there's one player who had more WAR than him. Who was it? Include the leaderboards, please. Andres Montes, who unfortunately for us also played on a really good team. I think DeWitt will probably finish second, but I think that's all we can expect from him, which is fine. Damn, the Baltimore Orioles won one more game than I did this season. That's wild. Back to the lineup. Luna had a down year. Mesa was really, really good. Gallego represents an interesting decision. He's wanting $12 million in arbitration. That isn't the worst deal I've ever heard of. But his offensive value is always going to be highly dependent on his ability to make contact, which always makes him risky. If we do bring him back for 1 year, and I think I probably will, just to make sure we have some level of consistency in the infield, that's it. If this guy starts asking for $20 million a year, I'm going to tell him to get fucked. He has had one insanely good season, and I don't think he'll ever replicate it. I truly don't. I truly do not. Sean Mintz ended up being fairly valuable, which is nice. But I want you to notice how quickly the game drops off. Once we get past the top three, we have two roughly decent players, and then we have a bunch of players that aren't that impressive. Ruda and Marulanda were both pretty good. They were both pretty solid. Robbie Herbertson had a really disappointing season. This has to change. If we're going to be the best version of the Oakland A's, Robbie Herbertson doesn't have to just be good, he has to be great. Many of our other players didn't work out. Danny Bowman could not do his job. Jesus Barrera was replacement level. Um, I don't know what we're going to do at shortstop next year. I truly do not know what we're going to do at shortstop. I truly don't. This is going to be an interesting offseason. We're going to have to make some hard choices if we're going to keep the team successful going forward. Because right now I have one infielder I can trust, which is Gallego. You know what? Let's go ahead and do arbitration while I'm thinking of it. We can do this part now. Sam Feeney. Oh, let's look at pitching first. Sorry. Sam Feeney was second best pitcher on the team. Look at fucking Shamar Pamphile, though. Holy hell, guys. What a year he had. But all of our starters are really good. Even Yedelson Divini, who was out of the rotation briefly, ended up finishing with a pretty strong year. McDevitt and Feeney were great. Pamphile was phenomenal. Nominal? No. What if I offered you, just for funsies, a long-term deal? What would that look like? I can't do it, but what if I did? I would absolutely make this deal 1 billion times. But we have to wait. But I do think that's the thing I'm going to do. I think I'm going to lock him up now while I can. Alright, Sam Feeney. You want $5 million. I am more than happy to give you $5 million. Easy choice. Done. Chris Bork wants double the salary. He has been a really good reliever. I think it is worth keeping him. Yes. Yes. It is for now. But I don't think... what? Really, dude? Georg Hunt. What happened this year? This is literally the exact same pitcher he was last season, when he was one of the better pitchers on the staff. I don't know what happened. I truly do not understand it. Like, everything but the ERA is more or less identical. He just got hit a little bit harder this year. I think Hunt has more than earned one more year on this relieving staff. That is my belief. I cannot afford to lose Gallego. I cannot. I can't afford that much turnover in the infield, especially if we also replace second baseman. There's your 11 million. Enjoy it. Robbie Herbertson has to be kept as well. He's a very, very high-profile hitter. That could mean a great deal to our success going forward. I'm not going to non-tender that or even trade it yet. Really, fuckers? Why are you being such nickel and diming assholes? Just take your fucking raise and be happy. Oh my god. I literally cannot even offer him that much money. There. Take it. Jesus Christ, you jackass. Yeah, you're gonna disappear real fast if you don't figure this shit out. You better have a good damn year this year. And Luna we're not keeping. What about Ronnie Small? Ronnie Small's been one of the better backup catchers in the league for 2 years in a row. And then this year, he just wasn't. I think he's good enough to give him one more year. Especially given the relatively modest raise he's requesting. I think I can live with that. Done. Let's do the coaching too, because this is going to be a really meaningful offseason where I'm going to make lots of important decisions. I want to go ahead and make some decisions now. So I have no manager, I have no bench coach. Who's our manager going to be? We want somebody that is easygoing or personable. Preferably easygoing. How does normal grab people? Nobody likes normal. We don't like normal here. Okay, fine. What about Cooper Goldby? I care about the Oakland A's. His relationships aren't fantastic, especially given his role, so I'm going to leave him where he is. I'm not going to promote him. Or Mr. Caballero. Caballero gets along really well with most of the roster. The question is, do I make him the manager or do I make him the bench coach? He's also personable, and we like personable. We like personable. Let me make you the bench coach for now, and let's try to maybe go out and get a bigger name manager and a new third base coach. Do we like temperamental? We don't. No, we don't like temperamental at all. Only one person likes that. We want easygoing would be ideal. Or normal. Easygoing or normal would be good. If normal is the case, we could promote Skip Shoemaker. Yeah, let's do that. Let's make Skip Shoemaker the third base coach. There we go. And then we need an easygoing manager. That is the most important thing right now. Let's also make some changes here. Pignatiello can be promoted to being our third base manager, or our AAA manager. That's the word I was looking for. Leighton Hiller's still a good coach, right? He's a fairly competent coach. Well, maybe we just go whole hog and upgrading. Well, let's get a manager. We want somebody easygoing. Who's also an amazing manager. We want somebody easygoing, though. Chris Fetters seems like an awfully good choice. How would you get along with the current Oakland A's? A lot of them would not like you very much. Okay. Add filter is easygoing. Eladio Baroa would have really good relationships with most of the team. But not with Chris McDevitt. And apparently he and Ronnie Small are like best friends for some reason. Which is funny. Brandon Clausen. Not great relationships. Steven Larrand would be pretty popular. Baroa's better at handling a lot of things, though. The thing is, Eladio Baroa only has great relationships with Ronnie Small. Who's the other guy? Was it Rojan here? No, it wasn't Rojan. Clausen? No, it's average. Fetter is average. Like, LaRude would genuinely be a fairly good pick, if not for the fact he doesn't have amazing aging. What about Chris Johnson? How do you get along with this team? Not super great. I like Jordan Leyland a lot. But my players don't. My players do not. Patrick Leyland. Not that great. I'm looking for that good relationship, which I've only seen one so far, which is with Steven LaRude. Maybe that's what I have to do. Maybe just have to accept the fact Steven LaRude is going to be our next manager. Yeah, let's do it. Let's bring in LaRude. Oh, what would you give me control of? Anything but you really want control over how much you get to bunt. That's fine. I think that's more than acceptable. Let's take the plunge, guys. Let's bring in LaRude. Steven LaRude. Maybe you shouldn't be so rude. Maybe you shouldn't be so rude. Delete filter. I want development all over the place that I can get it. Barrett Aston, come to AA, please. Be my dude. Let's get Jose Perez to do high A, if he'll take it. Let me get Robbie Coleman to do single A. And let's bring in Ryan Jones. No. Nick Markakis. No, Ronnie Jones. Ryan Jones can be our rookie league hitting coach. Okay. This is going to be a very interesting offseason. With a new manager coming in, Steven LaRude. If he turns out to be a good manager, and I think he will. Oh, you're gonna struggle with the personable people. God damn it. I'm going to withdraw that off. No, I can't withdraw the offer. I think he genuinely is the best coach for these players. I got to find some of these personable fucks and fire them. Caballero is personal. God damn it, game. Really? Really? He's got really good relationships. I think we're just going to have to accept it for now, and then maybe figure out a way to improve the coaching dynamics some other way. So many people don't like personable people. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Why do you all hate personable people? I don't understand that. I truly don't understand it. Oh, the assistant GM is also personable. Okay. David Forrest, I'm going to fire you. And we're going to try to find somebody else that is either normal or easygoing to be our assistant GM. Here we go. What are you? You are easygoing. Brilliant. Everett Colis, welcome aboard. I don't think you're that great an assistant GM, but you are good for the chemistry. There you go. Hiring both of them should restore some balance to the force. I think that'll help us out a lot. Who's going to teach running? Cooper Goldby can teach running. He's better than Caballero. And Shoemaker will teach the infield. And I do want Caballero to be involved in teaching, so we're going to let him teach the outfield. He gets along with my outfielders, but he gets along with everybody. He's a really good, nice guy. Alright, that should help us out, having that particular deal here. Recent downturn? What the fuck are you talking about? David Forrest had been our assistant GM for a very, very long time. And I'm sure he'll be successful somewhere else, but we had to make a change. And that is going to conclude today's episode. What a game. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below. Let me know if you think I made the right decision. Keep it make David over Luna. And until next time, this has been UpGuardian. Thank you for watching. and I bid you good day.